What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome back to the Tour Junkies podcast. DB here. I got my my Wild Leap vodka soda podcast
Nice.
juice. Pat Perry, co-host. What's your podcast juice tonight for the Valspar 2021 betting preview?
Drinking a little beer here.
Yeah.
Little Yingling Golden Ale, Golden Pilsner.
Brewed right in producer Sam's backyard.
Producer Sam hasn't come on to say that yet, has he?
Actually, in his basement. It was brewed in his basement. The hops stayed right there in his basement. You know what? We're back. We took a week off, but we're here. And the people, your boy Joe Keps wants to see you chug that beer on camera, Pat. I think you should do that.
I'm not gonna chug the whole thing. I'll give it a good go though for
Oh, well, why would you do that? Like that is lame. Who wants to see? Oh yeah, hey, can you really take down a third of that beer for me real quick? I'd love to see that. You know, like what?
I'm actually not very good at chugging beer. Like, like if you went to college or in like high school or whatever, like you went to spring break trips or whatever in Panama City, and like people like just like I never went.
Did you? Why would anyone by choice go to Panama City? Did you do that?
No, I have never been to Panama City. Well, I have been through there, but I've never been there for like spring break. That's where people go for spring break, DB. I know you lived a sheltered life. I know you lived a sheltered life growing up.
I went on spring break. I did not go there. I did not go
People go to Panama City for spring break. Are you what planet do you live on?
I mean, I guess the planet that doesn't want my pecker to rot off.
So where do you go to spring break? Do you go to like to church camp or something? Did you spend spring break like high up in the mountains somewhere where they
I went to head on my spring break. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. Well, anyway, there's people the whole point was there are people that are very good at like chugging beer. Like they have some sort of thing like way their esophagus can just open up and they just like beer just flows through them. And I can't do that. Like I'm not like I don't know what it is, but I'm not very good at it.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a good intro. We are, you know what I forgot to do in the DraftKings episode is say that we're presented by Fantasy National. So there you go. We are presented by Fantasy National. And you can head over to fantasynational.com/TJ and get you a membership, get your membership to that. You know what I mean? You can get a weekly membership, a monthly, an annually membership. You can get you an annually membership. And that's where we get all our stats. It's the best stat spot on the interwebs, on best one. You can get all the strokes gain data. You can get course history, recent form, lineup builders, optimizers, head-to-head matchup betting tools, course breakdown stuff, all that over on fantasynational.com/TJ to get 20% off any membership level that you choose. We've been using them for like 4 years now. Our trusted source, good friends, good people over there. And all the data is licensed by the PGA Tour to them, so you know it's good. There you go, fantasynational.com. We are back. We took the Zurich off. I'm glad we did that. We went and played TPC Sawgrass, a stadium course. I did a podcast, kind of an impromptu podcast. If you missed that, you can check that out wherever you listen to podcasts. It is not on YouTube, but it is on audio. I just recorded it in my car. The audio is terrible, but I kind of gave you. Let me see. I gave you a behind the scenes look. I pulled the curtain back a little bit. I lifted my skirt up for you a little bit. Showed you my flowers. That's what they used to say about just showed you my flowers. And I talked a little bit about Pat personally. Told you some secrets about Pat, a little bit about myself, a little bit about Chalk Bomb Ben. Talked about producer Sam and Kyle and the Props Network, and talked about the business of Tour Junkies and the future of Tour Junkies. Recapped our round at the stadium course. It was a very fun episode. See, in the YouTube chat right now, Chilukin247 said it was a cool listen, DB. Hey, it was a cool listen.
He's susceptible to having the wool pulled over his eyes, apparently.
What does it mean to be a cool listen? Hey, that was a really cool listen. anyway, that's a podcast we did do. You know, I'm a man of the people, Pat. Honestly, I am. I mean, I'm not lazy. Like, you know, I didn't just take the week off and just sit on my cheeks and just do nothing. I said, you know, the people are used to getting a podcast delivered to their inbox every week, and I'm going to give them one. So I did. I gave it to them, and I delivered it, and it was
good for you. I took the week off.
Yeah. We also played Sawgrass, got humbled. I talked about that. It was a fun week, is what it is. All right, let's get into this a little bit. The golf course. We're talking about the Valspar, Copperhead, Innisbrook. We know this golf course, right, Pat? But we did have caddy John Rathouse on the show, on the DraftKings preview. If you've not checked that out, go listen to it. Go watch it on YouTube. We did have him on the podcast. He told us a little bit about the golf course. You're going to tell us a little bit about the golf course. But before you do that, people are going to go ahead on YouTube and give us a thumbs up. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. We'll wait. Go ahead. Nope. Go ahead. Hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe. Yep, right there with it. Took you 4/10 of a second to do that. Thank you. And then also comment. You know, the Zurich was last week. Comment what we asked this in the DraftKings show. No, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah. Comment what you think the best walk-up song would be for me and Pat. If we were a team at the Zurich, what would be the best walk-up song for us that you think we should have? And if you commented the song on the DraftKings show, do it again on this show. We need the comments for the algorithm. Comment. All right, do that. And while you're doing that, Pat is going to talk to you about the golf course, and he's going to tell you what caddy John Rathouse had to say about Copperhead.
Yeah. So Innisbrook Resort this week, Copperhead course, playing 7,340 yards. It is a par 71. You got Bermuda grass tee to green. They have overseeded it with POA, but I think we've got the Bermuda, you know, almost in full bloom, you might say, coming out here, as we've had definitely some warmer weather in Florida. And in the South, this typically plays as one of the most difficult courses on tour. And the thing about one of the things that John talked about that I thought was interesting was that it's not like a typical Florida course. Like, you got a lot of undulation. You know, there's a, you know, it's not like flat like you might think. As a matter of fact, it may be more, I don't want to say Augusta-like, because not a lot is Augusta-like, but there are a lot of undulations at Augusta National, things that you don't typically think for a southern course, but you get that here at Copperhead. So I think that's interesting. You got tight tree-lined fairways. So look, I think driving accuracy is something that is something to look at. And, you know, Caddy Rathouse mentioned that. He said that he does think you need to be accurate off the tee, but there's a lot of these guys he talked about, they're going to take less than driver off the tee. They're not going to hit driver on a lot of these holes. Now, one of the things that's interesting about this course, for a par 71, you got 4 par 5s and 5 par 3s. Very unusual. Not something you typically see here.
That's like we got third nipple. You know what I mean? Like, to have that.
Yeah, it's like, that's weird.
That's like, have you ever
played a course personally that had 5 par 3s?
I mean, I played a par 3 course that had at least 5 par 3s.
Well, yeah, I mean, like a real course, like
no. But that's not
like a partial course or a short course, but I'm talking about like a real course with 5 par 3. I have not. This is an unusual layout, but either way, he talked about the par 5s. You know, you look at par 5s and you think, okay, we got 4 par 5s on the course. Par 5 scoring might be a thing. I don't know if it is a thing this week, because he said really like the first hole or the first par 5 is pretty reachable, but the other ones, it all comes down to your drive. And it's going to be, you know, kind of case by case, you know, considering where you are off the tee and how long you are. But it's, you know, it's not like all of these par 5s are that gettable. I mean, really, one of them is, and that's about it. I do think it's going to be playing, and John agreed with this, a little bit different now that we're in kind of early May, late April, as opposed to where we typically play this course, which is in the spring, early spring, not the late spring like we are now. So it's going to be playing a little bit firmer, a little bit faster. But he talked about scrambling being one of his important stats. I don't know about that, but I mean, you know, he is Caddy John. He knows what he's talking about. So that's something to look at. They are smaller greens, which you do typically want to look at some scrambling when that happens. What else, TB? Did I mention anything? Did I miss anything? I'm sure I did. If you could also go back to the DraftKings preview, to the DFS preview, if you want to hear John, because he gives some great insight on the course and his personal experience caddying here.
Or you could also go ahead and go to tourjunkies.com and join Golby's Nut Hut, which our Discord private member chat, where not only can you have 24/7 chat conversations with various golf addicts like yourself, talking about betting and playing DraftKings on the PGA Tour, chatting it up with me and Pat and Chalk Bomb Ben. But also every single week on like Tuesday or Wednesday, Caddy John goes in there and he types up on the Caddy Info channel. He types up a real nice breakdown and some thoughts, from his brain, who has been on the PGA Tour for 9 years caddying. So he's going to give you his thoughts on the golf course and kind of what he's looking at, what he's looking for. And you can bounce some ideas off of him too. It's good stuff. And it's only $10 a month or $90 for the whole year to join the Nut Hut. It's insane. Friendships are being made. Money is being made. You can join the Nut Hut Listener League and win a chance to come play golf in Augusta, Georgia with me and Pat, or Savannah, Georgia with me and Pat. Play some fantastic golf. We'll treat you to a nice little golf trip here. If you win that, you get 20% off all your Tour Junkies merchandise purchases. It's a fantastic deal. We're probably losing money on the deal, honestly. So head over to tourjunkies.com, check out Golby's Nut Hut, and hear what Caddy John has to say this week and every week in the Nut Hut. It's good stuff. Yeah, Pat, I think that's about it for the golf course. I do want to let people know, because we got some people that need to upgrade their shaft. It's time to upgrade your shaft, because your shaft is busted. It's broken, it's dusty, it's dirty, it's bendy. It's got all kind of problems. And so
you got a bendy shaft. If you got a bendy shaft, you need to fix that.
It might be too late, honestly. It might be too late. But in case it's not, Fujikura, our friends at Fujikura, the most played shaft on the PGA Tour this season. And when you're betting on players to win on the PGA Tour, a safe bet is that they've got a Fujikura shaft in their bag. The new Ventus Fujikura shaft is the #1 shaft model on the PGA Tour, and it's been used to win on all 3 U.S. tours. That's the PGA Tour, the LPGA, and the Champions. And guess what? Also, it's traveled overseas and won on the European Tour. The Ventus has. Notable players using the Ventus. Oh, you mean who's using it? A guy named Dustin Johnson. Ever heard of him? Great shaft on that guy, I've heard. Rory McIlroy, he's okay. Jordan Spieth, I think he's a guy. Adam Scott, fantastic, handsome devil, great shaft on him. Sergio Garcia, a Spaniard shaft. I mean, who doesn't like that? He's using the Ventus. He's doing his thing. The Ventus is available in 3 models with a wide range of weights and flexes from any golfer, or a tour pro to a weekend warrior. So we want to help golfers find the center of the club face more often for better consistency and distance. And the Ventus with Velo Core is the performance standard for club fitters. So if you want a little bit of that, if you want to upgrade that shaft, daddy, you need to find a local fitter or head over to FujikuraGolf.com. You can go to FujikuraGolf.com and go to the little online tool and find your local fitter, the closest to you. And check them out on Instagram also, at Fujikura Golf. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason you should be hitting any wood, 1 wood, a 3 wood, a 4 wood, a 5 wood, a 7 wood, a heaven wood, a hybrid. If it ain't a Fujikura, I don't know what you're doing. You're probably giving up strokes. So that's just facts. The kids say that's big facts. That's what they say. The kids are putting big in front of stuff. I don't know.
And people say that it's not. Some people will say. Some people might say that the shaft doesn't matter, but the shaft matters. Okay, like let's just go ahead and say that the shaft matters absolutely.
Yeah, it's getting inappropriate in the chat, and I don't know how it's getting inappropriate. People are twisting words or something. I don't know.
No, we're talking about golf. We're talking about shaft. Anyway, let's go on with the picks.
We do have a really big announcement, but before we do that, I want to talk about a little bit. That. I do want to talk a little bit about the betting board. Let's hit the top of the betting board, then we'll come back to we have a huge announcement. Huge announcement. If you've already listened or heard the DraftKings preview, you've already heard it. But for those of you that only listen to this, we're going to have to hit it again. You're going to love it. You're going to be like, what in the world is going on? But let's talk about the top of the betting board here. Let's look at I don't know. Let's look at like the 40 to let's go up to like 40 to 1 and shorter, Pat. Starting here in the shortest range, you got Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Corey Connors, Patrick Reed, kind of leading the way in terms of the betting favorites. Now, primarily we're looking at DraftKings Sportsbook. We're looking at PointsBet. It is there's a few discrepancies here in the numbers. You can get Corey Connors at 20 to 1 on PointsBet right now, which, I mean, I don't know that Corey Connors, I can't justify paying or having the same odds as Patrick Reed when you're Corey Connors, because I just feel like Patrick Reed is going to close the door more often, which on DraftKings, Reed and Connors are both 18 to 1. On PointsBet, Reed is 17 to 1, Connors is 20 to 1. That makes me feel a little bit better about it. I mean, what do you think about, we didn't talk about Patrick Reed on the DraftKings show, but from a betting perspective, the win equity that he always carries at 17 to 1. What are your thoughts on Patrick Reed? Now, I looked here over the last 5 years. I looked at strokes gained ball striking at the Valspar. So just at Copperhead over the last 5 years, strokes gained ball striking. That's off the tee and strokes gained approach combined. Patrick Reed is 13th in this field in ball striking over that time period. He has 2 runner-ups here, a 7th, a 38th, and a miscut in his 5 attempts. He checks the box in strokes gained scoring in windy conditions and difficult conditions, which we tend to see play here at Copperhead. But yet we didn't mention him. What are we going to do here? What are we doing, Patrick Reed?
I don't mind Patrick Reed here. I think, the number is probably about right. So I don't think there's any like value you're getting by taking Patrick Reed. I mean, he's 18 to 1 on DK Sportsbook. He's 17 to 1, I think, on PointsBet. I just think the number itself to me is just, I don't know. There's nothing off about, like, when I'm looking at numbers for betting purposes, I like to see where I might gain an advantage versus other books, versus whatever, like versus, just like the field, everything else. And I just don't think you're getting a whole lot of value out of Patrick Reed here.
Okay, but you gotta pick one. Okay, I give you Patrick Reed at 18 to 1. I give you Corey Connors at 20 to 1. I give you Paul Casey at 22 to 1, and I give you Victor Hovland at 25 to 1. Which one are you taking?
I'll go Connors at 20 to 1.
So Connors you can get him 20 to 1.
I don't think the win equity, like, take out the win equity. Everybody you want to talk about that too much. Like, I get it. Like, yes, you do want the winner, but I think that right now Connors has better win equity, despite the fact that he hasn't won as much as Patrick Reed than Patrick Reed has, because of
better
the way
win equity.
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Win equity to me is not just the fact that somebody is like past history of winning. Like, you can actually, like, I think, factor in like future win equity. He has better win equity this week than Patrick Reed does, based off the way he's playing.
He is playing great. Listen, I love Corey Connors. It's not like Patrick Reed is playing poorly. In fact, he's won since Corey Connors has. He won at the Farmers at the end of January. Then he finished 9th at the WGC. Then he finished 22nd at the Players, 8th at the Masters. Like, it's not like he's not playing good. This is kind of the thing with Patrick Reed, is everybody kind of, it's like you whitewash how good he plays, and then all of a sudden you look at it and you're like, damn. I mean, it's just shocking to me that neither one of us mentioned him. And he's in great form. He's got a great record here. I guess maybe it's because he doesn't check a lot of the ball striking boxes that these other guys check, but obviously he's a great putter. He's a good scrambler. Maybe that's what it is. Like, Connors is such a ball striking stud. But you can't really argue with the form with Reed either. I mean, yes, Connors, I guess if you really, if you're looking at the last, 5-10 events, strokes gained, he's definitely gained more than Reed, but it's not like it's bad. But he's a one-time winner on the PGA Tour, right?
Well, I mean,
it's an interesting.
How long has he been on tour versus how long has Connors been on tour?
Well, obviously a lot longer, but I mean, Patrick's won multiple times since Connors won.
I don't know. I just like the 20-1 number. You asked me what number I like better. I like the 20-1 number on Connors more than I like the Patrick Reed 18-1 number.
Pat, we're debating, okay? Actually, since Connors has won, Reed has won 3 times since Connors has won. That's interesting.
I mean, overall, there's no debate. I mean, like their careers are different. I mean, Patrick Reed is a major winner who's, it's a little bit different. I just like the number better on Connors, the 20-1. I mean, that's really all it comes down to.
Who else you like up here? Anybody?
On the shorter odds, I like Abraham Answer at 30-1.
I was just about to ask you about that. So I see it and I'm like, yeah, I like that too. Is Abraham Answer ready to win a golf tournament? Is he ready? And
I think yes.
And are we ready to bet a first timer if he wins? Obviously, if you're betting him outright, are we willing to bet a first time winner at 30-1, which feels a little short? It feels a little short. I don't love the number. Like, you talk about value, and you feel like you're not really getting it for Patrick Reed at 18-1. I don't really feel like I'm getting it for Abraham Answer either. I mean, he's definitely a great player. He does check all the boxes here. He's in fantastic form. It's just a matter of, will he close the door in a field that's pretty decent? Like, this isn't a terrible field. And he's definitely come close. I'm looking at top 5, 5th at the Amex in January, 4th at the Shriners in October, a couple runner-ups, one at the Heritage last year, one at the Amex last year as well. Another runner-up at the Northern Trust, which is a stacked event back in 2019. I mean, so, he's been there a little bit, but can he close the door? And am I willing to pay 30-1 to do it? Like, who else is around him at 30-1? Scheffler.
Well,
that's kind of interesting. Which you and I both cannot get Scheffler right. Sung J.M. I don't know. Like, when I look at Answer, I almost prefer him in DraftKings, I think, because I don't know that I've seen enough to believe that he's going to close the door.
See, that's where I don't understand. Like, when you're looking at, like, why not? Like, why would you not bet a guy who hasn't won yet just because he hasn't won yet? But like, all right, so let's look at this year.
Answer, or are you just going to?
Okay. Let's look at this year. Well, because you talk a lot, so now I'm going to talk. Okay. Because I watch a lot of golf, and I think you do, but maybe you haven't seen some golf this year. Joel Damon won for the first time this year, didn't he? Right?
Yes, love it.
Okay. What about Matt Jones, who did not win for the first time, but he won in a long time? Okay.
But you're missing a key factor. I see what you're doing, but you're missing a huge factor.
What factor is that?
Value. What you just talked about with Patrick Reed. So I'm just saying, all I'm saying is I like Abraham Answer. I am tempted by him. I'm scrolling down the list and I'm looking at his name and I stop. And then I see 30-1. The difference in Joel and Matt Jones is they won at triple-digit numbers. So I got him at a triple-digit value, right? And so it just feels like good value. Whereas I'm looking at Abraham Answer and I'm seeing guys like Sung Jae who've won on the PGA Tour.
I don't think Joel was a triple-digit number
in that field, but he was what was he, like 60-1, 70-1?
Probably 40 or 50-1.
He was above 40. He was at least 50. But anyway, I'm seeing better value for my buck. That's all I'm saying. So when I'm looking at the names around him, I'm going, okay, is there better value here from someone who's an experienced winner on tour, who's been down the stretch on a Sunday and closed the door? Because I believe there is something to that. You can say you think that's crazy and whatever.
I don't put as much into that. I really don't.
I put more into it as we get shorter here. And 30-1, I'm starting to think about it. Like, it just doesn't. I'm starting to think about it because, I mean, like, I hate Scotty Scheffler because I can't get his ass right. But 30-1 seems like a better value for a guy like Scotty Scheffler than Abraham Ancer does. Jason Kokrak.
What is Scheffler won? What the fuck is Scheffler won?
Whoa. We're trying to keep the F words out of here, Pat. What are you doing?
Has Scheffler won a golf tournament?
No, but I guess he just feels like a bigger stud, and he's contended in majors, and he just feels like a bigger deal. I guess that's all it is. That's probably. Okay. I mean, top 5 at the WTC, top 5 at the Tour Championship, top 4th place at the PGA. He's got a ton of top 5s, top 10s, and in big events. That's all it is. He hasn't won that I can remember. No, he hasn't won. But that's it.
He should have probably won the match play, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, anyway.
Dang,
okay.
Dude, okay. Are you how many Yinglings have you had? You're already F-bombing me here. We're like 26.
I mean, I usually F-bomb way earlier in the DK show. Like, we aren't again, let's go back to the church and stuff. We aren't a church show. Jeez.
All right. Anybody else up to
betting on golf? Sorry for cussing. Anyway, I don't have anybody else. Oh, wait, let me think. Hang on. No, I liked Louis Oosthuizen. I liked him at 35-1. I thought that was a good number for him. I like a lot of the shorter odds guys here at this course. Yeah. Guys that are, like you said, do have experience, do have winning upside, things like that. I think Ancer has that upside. I think Uzi definitely has, obviously, despite, ruining his team's chances last week. But I do like him there. And then Sung J M. Nobody's talking about Sung J M at 30-1.
I just said his name. I just said his name.
Well, I wasn't paying attention to you because you were talking about your stupid theories and shit.
Oh, so we're arguing, we're debating, and you're just not listening. So that's
I like to listen to you when I
then you're going to F-bomb me. But then you're just going to F-bomb me. Okay.
Yeah, but sometimes you start talking about stuff I don't really want to listen to.
Okay. Okay. Well, I like Jason Kokrak at 40-1. He's appearing to be rather chalky on DraftKings. So if you're looking to play him there, I don't know. And I know his number has shortened on DraftKings. He opened at 40-1, dropped to 35, but he's still at 40 on PointsBet as of this recording. It may be getting lower, so you might want to jump on that. But Kokrak loves this place. And obviously he's a PGA Tour winner. He can get it done. 40-1. I like that number. So yeah. I like him. I like Patrick Reed, and I mean I like the Ancer play. I'm just playing a little devil's advocate. I'm talking out loud, working through my issues with Abraham Ancer. That's all I'm doing.
Hey, look, I'm here to help you with your issues. If you
the issue is I just look at it and it's hard to pull the trigger on it because it just feels like I'm not getting value. That's all it is. It just feels like I'm not. Now, that doesn't mean you don't bet it. Like, just because you don't feel like you're not getting value doesn't mean you don't bet it. I mean, it's not like. I mean, I don't know. I guess he's appropriate. I do think he's appropriately priced. Maybe I'm not saying he should necessarily be longer because he does check all the boxes here. This is way too much time on Abraham Ancer, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel like I'm getting a deal, and I kind of want to feel like I'm getting a deal. So, I guess that's it. Speaking of a deal, Pat, we have a big announcement to make. We've been working on a little something. And we have a big announcement. We just announced it on the DraftKings show. If you watch that, you can probably fast forward a few minutes. But we are on May 6th gonna drop the first ever special edition 1 of 1 Tour Junkies NFT non-fungible token.
Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. Not non-fungus token. No, this is a non-fungible token.
Yeah, Pat, what's a non-fungible token?
It is something out there in the world, in the stratosphere that you can buy that like it's got tokens and Bitcoins and stuff attached to it. and it's like it like floats in the universe. And so if you have a non-fungible token, like it's not like a Showbiz token. Like if you go to Showbiz Pizza,
Showbiz.
and if
Showbiz.
you go to
I thought I was
Showbiz
playing
Pizza and you get a
Augusta.
token, and you can use
Wait a
that
minute,
token.
wait a minute. Zach Morris, timeout. You are not describing an NFT by using a Showbiz token. There is no one here that has heard of Showbiz that did not, unless they grew up in Augusta in the 80s.
I'm sorry, Chuck E. Cheese.
Was like
It's a
bought
Chuck E.
out by
Cheese, a Chuck E. Cheese token. Like you can't use it. You can't like if you buy an NFT, you're not buying a Chuck E. Cheese token so that you can play a game. Like it's an actual asset. Like that like when you had the Showbiz or the Chuck E. Cheese token, like you thought that thing when you were a kid like had some value to it, even though it really didn't. Like the NFT actually is a token with some value. It's not like a Showbiz token.
Oh boy. As Pat likes to say, oh dear. Listen, the NFT thing is it's taken over the interwebs. If you're on Twitter, you've probably heard about NFTs. NBA is doing a lot of NFTs, the NBA Top Shot. So we just thought, you know what? Who cares? Let's just do something fun. Let's have some fun with this. Let's capture some Tour Junkies moments, both past and present and future. Let's have a little fun. So, an NFT is basically, think of it like a piece of art, okay? It's a piece of art. It could be a picture. It could be a video. It could be a video with audio. It could be no audio. It could be a GIF. But basically, it's something that is a piece of art that we put out there, and we put it on the blockchain, which is kind of the crypto like record keeping source. Think of it back in the day if you collected baseball cards, like you get a special baseball card and it would have a certificate of authenticity. The blockchain kind of gives you that. This is a certified Tour Junkies issued one of one NFT piece of art that you, if you win the auction, could be the proud owner of. Think of it like that. That's kind of how you think about it. I don't know what the hell Pat was talking about, but think of it like that. And so we're going to launch a series of these. The Bohm Collection is what it's called. It's called the Bohm Collection. And I want to show just a screenshot for the people of the first one. It's called Par, and leave that up there for a minute. Their producer Sam. This is Par Infinity is the title of this piece. Now you're seeing a still shot here on the screen, but it's actually going to be a video, a high definition video that's going to loop, and it's me and Pat taking our good friend Golby through the ether, through the world into the wide landscapes that are the golf betting scene. It's a beautiful piece. We're only issuing one. There's going to be one proud owner of this, and the auction goes live on May 6th. That's next Thursday. It will last 48 hours. You could be the proud owner. Look at that. Look at that right there on the screen.
It's like an artwork piece right there. It's like, is that electronic?
Okay. Yeah. So that was an example, maybe, because we're going to send this to you. Maybe producer Sam, put that back on the screen there. We're going to send this to you also in a special frame. It's a very special frame that will loop the video on loop, right? And you could put that in your office to show off to your coworkers, or put it in your man room, or put it in your kitchen to make your wife feel real weird and trippy, or you can put it in your car because you can charge the frame and it'll last up to 2 hours on its own. You can put it in your car, and that'll just be looping me and Pat and Golby right there with you. So you'll have a hard copy of it, but you'll also be the proud owner of it on the blockchain. Now, if you're wondering, how do I bid for this? How do I bid? Okay, so on May 6th, when the bidding opens, you will have 48 hours, and the bid will be the auction will take place on OpenSea.io. That's OPENSEA.io. It's a very popular website for buying, selling, trading NFTs. Okay, we have a page there. You can go to tourjunkies.com/NFT to find out all you need to know, links, everything. Frequently asked questions. If you're scratching your head like, what in the world is this? Why am I buying this? Why do I care? All that is there on the frequently asked questions section on tourjunkies.com/NFT. But on OpenSea.io, you will submit the auction, your bid. You cannot pay for this or bid on this with a debit card or a credit card or PayPal. It's only on crypto. It's only through crypto, and it's got to be Ethereum. Now, if you're not a crypto person, that's okay. Neither was Pat until like 10 days ago. Now he's addicted. He's literally waking up at like 3 a.m. checking his crypto wallet. But anyway, Ethereum is a popular cryptocurrency, and you can buy Ethereum on apps like Coinbase, which is a popular one. And then you have to have a wallet, a crypto wallet, like MetaMask is one that OpenSea works really well with. All of this, you can find links to it, explanations on tourjunkies.com/NFT. It'll help you understand things. You can look up YouTube videos about it. It's fun. We're just doing it for fun. Whatever it goes for, we don't care. It's just going to be a good time. We're going to have a good time with it. And this is not the only one. This is not the only one. This is all part of a collection. The Bohm collection is not just a flash in the pan. It is going to be fantastic. We're going to do no more than 18 different pieces in a year. And each piece could be just a one of one, or it could be a multiple, So we have another one that's coming for all you Pat lovers out there. All you people who think Pat is your general, is your commander. We have Pat's Army, the NFT coming out. There's a screenshot of it right there. It's actually a video. It's going to be another looping video, and the video is amazing, actually. We're going to issue 10 of these. So you can be the proud owner of 10 editions of this beautiful piece right here, that piece of man right there. Look at that piece of man. And you're going to get to maybe see his what's underneath that skirt right there Pat's got. That's going to be fantastic. So Pat's Army, more details coming out on that very soon. And we're just going to have a good time with it. We're looking to partner with some artists, some different brands, caddies, golfers, whatever. We're going to have a good time with it. It's going to be fun. We're looking forward to it. So head over to tourjunkies.com/NFT and check that out. Yes, Mark in the YouTube comments says you could wear it around your neck like Flava Flav. That would be really cool. Actually, you could do that. I've seen the frame. You could do it, and it would just continue to loop. You could go as a Halloween costume as like the world's biggest Tour Junkies fan, and you could say, "Hey, this piece of art right here, I own on the blockchain. It's mine. It's got my name tied to it." And when you buy it, you can actually sell it again. You could sell it, make money on it. Maybe years from now, it's worth way more money because we've like exploded or something, or maybe Pat dies. A lot of times artists' work becomes more valuable after they're dead. Picasso, Michelangelo, Pat Perry, if he died, the NFT probably worth more money, honestly, if we're honest. That's probably a good read. Pat, what's your blood pressure numbers, cholesterol numbers looking like?
I have lost my cholesterol medicine. I haven't taken it in like 7 days. It's like
you better hurry up.
Literally, like, I mean, I could die like tonight, and you just. But let me wait till May 7th. I'll wait till May 7th.
Yeah, you better get May 8th. Auction ends May. It's 48-hour auction.
Sorry, May 8th. Yeah.
Yeah, you better get on that.
I don't like this talk. This talk makes me nervous. I don't want to. Let's get on to some gambling talk because
check that out. Tourjunkies.com/NFT. Oh God, that's some fun stuff. People are gonna make fun of that, and people are gonna say we're crazy, but we're having a good time with it. We're having fun with it. NFTs are wild right now. It's the wild, wild west.
That's the thing. It's like crypto, man.
Look at wild, huh?
Like crypto, man. Like people don't understand it, so they don't buy it. Then they lose out. It's the same thing. Like if you don't understand an NFT, just because you don't understand it, doesn't mean you shouldn't buy it, dude. Actually, like I shouldn't really say that. Like you should understand what you're buying. But hey, Pat, what I'm saying is like
tell people what you do for a living.
Like yeah, but let me rephrase that. Yes, you should understand it. That's why we have Tour Junkies/NFT. But what I'm saying is, like, don't just discount it because you don't understand it. Like learn a little bit more about it and then decide whether or not you're going to discount it. Just like people do with crypto. They say, crypto, I don't understand it. I'm never going to buy it. Well, you may be missing out. So there you go.
What do you do for a living, Pat?
I don't do anything for a living. I do Tour Junkies for a living. Let's move on to some gambling.
Okay. Pat's a financial advisor if anybody wants to know. Okay.
You got to understand what you're buying.
Okay. Man, there is all right, 50 to 1. Let's look at like this kind of mid-range here. I like a lot of potential cats here. Let's see. On points bet right now. So I mentioned Kokrak at 40-1 on points bet. Charley Hoffman is at 50-1. I love this little mid-tier spot here. He's at 50-1 on points bet. He's 45-1 on DraftKings. I mean, he's been playing great. Good ball striker. Let's see what Charley Hoffman, what has he done in 12 rounds here at Innisbrook over the last 5 years? He's 39th in ball striking. Okay. In this field. It's not terrible. He gains strokes in difficult conditions, gains strokes in the wind, coming off at 18th at the Heritage, runner-up at the Valero, 18th place finish here in 2019, 11th back in 2016. Kind of a mixed bag here at the Valspar, but I mean, Hoffman's an interesting play at 50-1. PGA Tour winner there on points bet. I like that. Chris Kirk also he's on DraftKings. He's a little better number on DraftKings at 55-1. I'm going to keep riding the Chris Kirk train. He continues to play very, very well. Ball striking is there. He doesn't have a great record here, but I think he's a better player. I think he's a different player right now, so I like Chris Kirk. And then I love Max Homa. I think Homa is probably one of the better values on the board. I know Homa is not known for his Bermuda putting abilities, but the ball striking abilities of Max Homa and just the recent play has been very, very solid. And I guess I say recent play. He did miss the cut at the Masters, but I kind of expected that. This is his first year. I kind of get it. He missed the cut of the Players, but the Players there was a ton of carnage at the Players. I mean, think about all the big names that missed the cut of the Players. I kind of tossed that out. 10th place at the API, won the Genesis, finally broke through there. I don't know. I like Homa here. I think he presents some nice win equity, and I like the value at 70-1 on points bet. He's the better number. And then finally, before I get to the triple digits, or I let you go here, I'm going to go Keegan. I gotta go. I can't not play Keegan Bradley. He's at 80-1 on DraftKings, 70-1 on points bet. I mean, Keegan's the ball striking's too attractive to pass up. He's just tough to avoid. Let me see. What is his record here? I mean, he checks every ball striking number. It comes down to the putter. Checks the box in windy conditions, checks the box on difficult courses, so that's good. Here, kind of a mixed bag as well, just never putted well here, but that's typical. But what's interesting is Keegan has gained strokes putting in 3 of his last 4 events. That's weird. Talk about weird. Who knows if he's going to actually win? He hasn't won since 2018. Maybe it's a good top 10 bet. I don't know, but I feel like he's been close. He's played so well lately, so I'll give it a run at 80-1.
Well, in this mid to mid range here, I'm with you. I like Keegan there at 80-1. So, and the only other one I had was Cameron Tringale at 50-1. Yeah. He's at that number on both points bet and DraftKings. So doesn't matter which one you want to go to. Now, here's the thing with Tringale. Now, it doesn't have a great history here. I think he's missed like the last 3 cuts, but I love the form. I like the stats here. And I just feel like if he wins, he's been kind of trending towards maybe a chance to win. Like, I don't want to not be on him and at least not put something on Cameron Tringale, because I do think he has a chance to win here. Just fantastic when it comes to the stats. I mean, top 10 in the field in ball striking, great in approach, 15th in the field there. Top 10 in par 5 scoring, also checks the box around. I mean, literally across the board, he is just as solid as they get for this course. So I like Tringale there at 50-1. And then for me, it's going into the triple digit numbers.
How much better do you think Tringale is than, or how much better do you think Abe Answer is than Tringale?
I think overall Answer is a much better player than Tringale. I think Answer's game is one that we could see, play well for years. I mean, we saw him play. He's done well in majors. He played well at the Masters and it was the fall, I know. But I feel like Tringale is just like he's got kind of the hot hand right now. I don't know if he's like to me, he is a high 6K, low 7K golfer. If you're talking about like DraftKings, he's like a guy that's like a triple digit, so 100 to 150 to 1 every week golfer that is right now playing as a 50 to 60 to 1 golfer. But I don't think he can keep that up. But I would ride that right now. Answer, I think, is one that's
ride it, huh?
Yeah, ride it. Answer to me is one that's like consistently going to be a better golfer for a longer period of time.
What's kind of crazy is like Tringale's kept his card for a long time. Like when you look at how long he's been on the PGA Tour without losing it, like he's played a ton of PGA Tour golf. Like he's had a long run at it. It does feel like lately he's been the hot man because he seems like he's been a little more consistent lately, which I think he has. I think he's in maybe the more consistent run of his career. I don't know. I mean, I kind of think, I don't know that he has that much. I don't know that he's that much worse than Abraham.
Why are we having these conversations tonight? It's Cameron Tringale. Like,
it's interesting.
Abraham Answer. Like, no, okay, it's totally like.
I'm trying to help.
I didn't like give you the third degree about all your picks. I just say, okay, you said this and Chris Kirk and Chris Kirk and Chris Kirk, and I said a Chris Kirk, and I didn't make an argument against. I just said, fine, Chris Kirk. You like Chris Kirk?
I'm trying to help people.
I'm just trying to sit here and say that I like Abraham Answer and I like Cameron Tringale, and you got to sit there and like, well, let me see. Cameron Tringale's been on tour for 15 years, and he's kept his card all of that time. I swear to God, I'm just trying to make a good betting pick. Like, that's all I'm trying to do.
And I'm trying to make an interesting show for the people because I'm trying to help people manage their units a little bit. And I'm thinking, if I'm a bettor, I'm looking at this going, I don't really feel like Cameron Tringale is that much of a different golfer than Abe Answer, and I get him at almost double the price.
I think Abraham Answer's a better golfer than Cameron Tringale, but I like them both as far as betting is concerned.
That's all I'm doing. I'm making a little bit of debate content, Daddy. You ever heard of like Pardon the Interruption or like Skip and Stephen A? Like there's always a little debate. Nobody just wants me to go, here are my picks, now what are your picks? And then you give your picks, and then I give my picks, and then you give your picks.
I know, but I mean, Cameron Tringale is like one of the most uninteresting players on tour. Like you could have picked somebody else. Like I was about to talk about. Well, no, I don't have anybody else.
Button it up. Triple digits and longer. Go ahead.
All right, 3 guys that I like triple digits. Denny McCarthy is 100 to 1 on points bet. I love him this week. I know you like him as well.
Bet him before it goes down. It gets shorter. Get him.
Yeah, it's going to get shorter. The caddy John Roundhouse also liked him on the DFS show. And
he's already 80 to 1 on DraftKings. He's 100 to 1 on points bet, so he's already getting shorter in DraftKings.
Yeah, and I also like a lot longer than that. Chase Seiffert at 250 to 1, a guy that I think is just totally mispriced when it comes to DFS. You look at his recent form; it's been fantastic. I think this is a good course for him, so I like Seiffert as well. And then I think Seiffert had didn't he have a chance to win at the Honda? Was he third on a pretty difficult course? Chase Seiffert.
He finished third at the Honda. Yep.
A flyer play for me only because I just feel like this is going to be this should be a great course for him. And I just want to say his name because I love his caddy.
Okay.
And I think he's a good dude. JT Poston, 175 to 1.
I don't think so. Okay.
That's shout out Aaron Fleener.
Okay. I think TJ After Dark is going to be pretty lit. Okay, I agree 100% on Denny McCarthy. I'll give you 2 more. Okay. In 10 rounds over the last 5 years at Copperhead, he is 17th in strokes gained ball striking, okay, including first in strokes gained off the tee at this course, despite being one of the longest hitters on the PGA Tour. And, this being a place where long hitters tend to club down. Luke List is 175 to 1, and I am going to have at least a little bit of a unit on Mr. List. Okay. His record here, T16 in 2018, T27 in 2017 is possible. Okay. Anything's possible. Luke List, it'd be a long shot, but it is what it is. He's also
Luke List never wins anybody anymore.
I know.
Never wins anybody.
Money. He just doesn't win golf tournaments. He's 6-1 as a top 20. Probably a much better play. 6-1 as a top 20. Also, your boy Chase Seiffert, I wrote down as a top 20. He's, what'd you say it was, like 250 to 1 outright?
250 to 1 outright.
He's 5-1. He's 5-1 for a top 20, which is interesting because he's longer outright than List, but shorter in the top 20 market. Seifert's probably the better bet, honestly. We talked about this on the DraftKings show. Safety, he's kind of safe. Feels kind of safety. Safety Seiffert. Isn't that what we said? Yeah. Safety for the 6K range. And then finally, apparently a guy that I talk about all the time, according to you. But Tom Hoge, I feel like, is ready to break out and break through one of these days. Will it be at a tournament like this that's kind of a difficult track with, a pretty decent field? It's probably not going to happen. But do I think that he could? He's got the chops, maybe. He's never played well here, but I think he's a much better player than he has been recently. He's coming off of a T22 at the Players. He's coming off a T12 at the Valero, a T25 at the RBC Heritage. He's 5th in this field in strokes gained approach over the last 24 rounds. And I think Hoge is interesting at 200 to 1 on PointsBet and 5 to 1 as a top 20 for Hoge. So Hoge and Seiffert 5 to 1 top 20, I think is interesting there. I like both those numbers. Hoge can get hot if you give Hoge the right. Like, we'll see how it looks when it comes to the weather draw. But you give Hoge the good side of a weather draw, and he comes out first round leader, and he's going to be hot. He will back up and then end up finishing top 20 for you at 5 to 1. I feel that. So be on the lookout for that.
Do you feel that? Do you feel that in your loins?
I feel it in my plums. Yes. All right. So that's that. Oh, God. All right, Pat. The Tour Junkies After Dark is going to be real interesting. I can tell. Pat's had few too many yinglings right out of producer Sam's backyard. He's all pissy.
Thank you, producer Sam, for your
thank you for your service, producer Sam.
Thank you for your hometown's beer. It's a great beer.
We have 1 week off. Pat thinks that it's just not about content. It's just all about him and his thoughts.
Oh, people like my thoughts.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. May your screens be green. Go check out the DraftKings show if you haven't already. Leave a comment on the YouTube channel. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much for the support. We're pumped. Let's have a great week. May your screens be green. May your betting cards be effing awesome. See ya.